Welcome to Amish Shakil 5858 War and Love Reports. I am Amir Goodman. Let's watch the European view of the world this morning.
Niger's coup leaders announced plans to prosecute the ousted President Mohamed Bazoum for high treason. Relief efforts are ongoing on the Hawaiian island of Maui following the deadliest wildfires in the United States for over a century. Niger's military that toppled Mohamed Bazoum has said it will prosecute the deposed president for treason. The announcement was made by a coup spokesperson on national television just hours after the junta said they were open to dialogue with West African nations to resolve the regional crisis.
En tout état de cause, le gouvernement nigérien a réuni à ce jour les éléments nécessaires de preuve pour poursuivre devant les instances nationales et internationales compétentes le président Duchu et ses complices locaux et étrangers pour haute trahison et atteinte à la sûreté intérieure et extérieure du Niger suite à ses échanges avec les nations, les chefs d'État étrangers et des responsables d'organisations internationales.
Niger's democratically elected president was ousted by members of his presidential guard in late July. He's since been under house arrest in the capital Niamey. If found guilty, Bazoum could face the death penalty according to Niger's penal code. West Africa's ECOWAS regional bloc has ordered the deployment of a standby force and imposed economic sanctions, which the junta has denounced as illegal, inhumane and humiliating. Catastrophic wildfires which ravaged parts of the Hawaiian island of Maui are now the deadliest in the United States in more than a century. That's after the death toll climbed to at least 93 on Sunday. The US military, aid groups and individuals doing what they can to help the thousands who survived but lost everything. Many Hawaiians now reside in temporary camps. Hundreds are still missing, and authorities warn that efforts to find and identify the dead are still in their early stages.
This is my house right now. This is my house. Okay, I've got waters. I've got ice and Gatorade. I've got foodstuffs. Not a lot now, but I do have enough to survive on.
Anger grew over the weekend as many who fled the flames were prevented from returning to their homes. Hawaiian authorities have begun a probe into the handling of the fire, how it spread so rapidly with what residents say had been no warning.
Over time, we'll be able to figure out if we could have better protected people. That's why we're reviewing everything. We want to do that in a very open and transparent way. But it was complicated by the fact that there were multiple fires across this beautiful island at the same time.
Hawaii's Governor Josh Green says now is the time to help rebuild and repair. Amid the devastation, faith leaders are mounting relief efforts and offering comfort and hope for those in need.
Russian bloggers acknowledge that Ukrainian forces are maintaining a presence on the east bank of the Dnieper River in Kherson region in contrast to previous Ukrainian raids, but the Institute for the Study of War does not yet assess that these positions constitute a bridgehead. Kremlin-affiliated mill bloggers claim that Ukrainian forces have established positions west of Kozachyi Lageri after several days of limited raids across the Dnieper River, adding that Ukrainian sabotage and reconnaissance groups continue to operate west of Kozachyi Lageri, but that the settlement itself is still under Russian control. The mill bloggers also claim that Ukrainian reconnaissance groups continue to operate near Antonivsky Bridge and further south of Kherson in the area of Hola Pristan and conduct raids across the Dnieper River. Continuing Russian claims that Ukrainian forces maintain a presence on the east bank of the Dnieper River suggest that Russian forces are concerned that Ukrainian forces have established semi-lasting positions across the river. The UK Defense Ministry says some of the operations, both near Kazachyi Lagri and near Antonivsky Bridge and in the Hola Prystan area, likely took advantage of a local Russian force rotation, and now Russian commanders face a dilemma on whether to strengthen this area or to deploy troops in the areas of Ukraine's main counteroffensive operations further to the east.
Officials in Ukraine say 7 people, including a newborn baby, a 12-year-old brother and their parents, were killed on Sunday by Russian shelling in the southern Ukrainian region of Kherson. Another 13 people were injured, according to local authorities, who said there were several Russian strikes in different areas of the region.
Загалом лише від початку цієї доби і до 6-ї вечора вже 17 повідомлень про обстріли лише в Херсонській області, а ще Миколаївщина, Запоріжжя, Донбас, з Харківщини, прикордоння з Росією в районах Північного Сходу.
In the separatist eastern Donetsk region, Moscow-backed authorities claimed 1 man was killed and 1 woman injured in an alleged Ukrainian strike on a rural house on the outskirts of the city. Local media reported more than 100 US-made shells were fired on Sunday, including cluster munitions. Meanwhile, a spokesperson for the Russian Defense Ministry stated in a video released on Saturday that its forces carried out a strike on a military airfield near the town of Kolomia in western Ukraine on Friday. It claimed they hit a civilian building in the town, killing an 8-year-old boy.
Nice website. Who built it?
No one. It's just a 5-minute thing that I created with Hokers. 5?
Far-right populist Javier Milei shocked Argentina's political establishment on Sunday by receiving the most votes in a primary ballot to choose presidential candidates for October's general election. The 52-year-old libertarian economist is an admirer of former US President Donald Trump and has called for the Argentinian peso to be replaced by the US dollar. Former Security Minister Patricia Bullrich was the top choice of voters from the main opposition Together for Change coalition. She received 27% of votes, defeating the more centrist contender Horacio Larreta. Argentina's Minister of the Economy Sergio Massa was chosen as candidate for the ruling centre-left Peronist bloc, with 25% of the vote. During these primaries, Argentinians pre-select the parties and candidates for the forthcoming election. Despite compulsory voting, the 69% turnout was far lower than 4 years ago, reflecting political disenchantment in a country gripped by sky-high inflation.
Lava flowing down the slopes of Mount Etna on the Italian island of Sicily. The volcano erupted on Sunday evening, and although the lava flow had subsided before dawn, ash was still coming down from one of the craters on Monday. As a result, all flights to and from the airport and the nearby popular tourist destination Catania have been cancelled until the evening. The city has also banned the use of motorcycles and bicycles for the next 48 hours because many streets are covered in ash, and ordered cars to drive no faster than 30 kilometers per hour. Mount Etna is the highest active volcano in Europe.
A town buried in mud, Bardonecchia in Italy, was hit overnight by torrential floods and a landslide that caused consequent damage and forced some 120 people to flee their homes. Italy's Fire and Rescue Service released images of the mudslide that swept through the Alpine town. 6 people were rescued by the fire brigade after their camper van was swept away by water and mud. Italy has recently been affected by several extreme weather events, including devastating wildfires. Central and eastern Bohemia in the Czech Republic experienced severe thunderstorms with torrential rains and hail during the night. The regional fire department received dozens of reports overnight of fallen trees obstructing roads and flooded houses. As of 5 a.m. on Monday morning, firefighting teams had already carried out more than 30 operations to deal with the storm's aftermath.
Croatia is reporting record levels of traffic as tens of thousands of vehicles descend on the popular vacation destination. In the port city of Split, officials reported 90,000 ferry passengers and 17,000 vehicles over the weekend. Traffic jams along the country's principal highway, leading from the capital Zagreb to the Adriatic coast, were up to 7 kilometers long. In Switzerland, queues at the Gotthard Tunnel reached up to 8 kilometers, half the length of the tunnel. To Italy and the resorts of southern France.
Spain and Sweden are set for a showdown. In a highly anticipated match, the two sides will lock horns at Eden Park on Tuesday for a place in the Women's World Cup final. Spain is determined to make history by reaching the showpiece game for the first time. They'll be up against a tough Swedish side, eager to maintain its momentum after defeating former champions USA and Japan. It'll be Sweden's fifth semi-final appearance, and Spain's offensive form could be the key to overcoming its solid defence.
The winners will face one out of England and Australia in the final. The hosts have had an unforgettable competition. Their quarter-final victory against France on penalties, the most-watched TV event since way back at the 2000 Olympics. The Matildas have captured the hearts of their nation. Before the attention turns back to them, the eyes of the footballing world will be on both Spain and Sweden in Auckland. Whatever happens, we will be seeing a new name on this FIFA Women's World Cup trophy. Samashu for Euronews in Sydney.
Paris Saint-Germain has agreed a deal to sell Brazilian forward Neymar to Saudi Pro League side Al Hilal. According to reports, the 31-year-old has agreed to a 2-year deal for a fee set to reach €90 million plus add-ons. Neymar, who left Barcelona to join PSG for a world record transfer 6 years ago, was not part of coach Luis Enrique's plans for the next season. Neymar has made 173 appearances for the French club, helping them win 13 trophies, including 5 League One titles. He will join the likes of Benzema, Mane, Kante, Mahrez and Ronaldo in the Saudi Pro League.
In the Northern Irish county of Tyrone, relatives, friends and locals have paid tribute to the victims of the Omagh car bombing 25 years on. In 1998, 29 people lost their lives after the real IRA detonated a bomb along the Omagh High Street. It was the deadliest bombing of the nearly 3-decade-long conflict, known locally as the Troubles, which happened shortly after the conflict was formally ended by the Good Friday Agreement.
Thanks for watching and privilege of your time. This is Amir Shakil 5858. I'm a good man. Thank you.